Inspiration, a short story by Gerald Kells. So he says that he says, are my inspiration. It is perhaps unfortunate that at the same moment the pub goes quiet and the word inspiration hangs in the air before the other drinkers return to their pints. She pushes her own pint slightly forward. She wonders if she should have accepted a second as easily as she accepted the first. Adnam, he says, it's what you like. She picks it up and takes a sip. She puts it down again. It's nice. You see what I'm trying to say, he says. She looks again at the pint. She's drunk a third of it. She wonders how quickly she can drink the rest and if she's sure it won't make her tipsy. She doesn't want to say anything accidentally. No, she says, I don't. He looks at her and then at her pint. She moves her head so she can pick out the door and decide how easy it is to get to it. She doesn't want to trip. He leans forward. I'm saying you're my muse, my inspiration. I'm telling you that it was you I was writing about when I created a heroine who was... She picks up her pint and drinks the second third. His pint sits with the head settling. It's nice to meet up, she says, after all this time. Who was beautiful, a heroine who was... He attempts to smile. She isn't sure how to take this compliment. She is beautiful. Everyone says so. She likes to be reminded of it, but the beer is making her self-conscious. It's not why I met up with my old flatmate from university, she tells herself. It's not what made me answer his voicemail. How's Marianne, she asks. He puts out a hand, touches her wrist. She moves her own hand back. We used to dance together, he says, at college, at parties, at... She stands up. There is a mirror in front of her. Although the man is right and she can see how beautiful she is, it doesn't stop her eyes watering. She wants to brush away the tears, but that would draw attention to the streak. He could have made his path before she accepted the second drink. He could have missed out on the small talk about holidays. He'll be well enough off to buy her 2 drinks, what with all the success of his novel, but it's that generosity which is making it harder to walk out. She knows this, but the knowledge doesn't help. She picks up her pint and downs the last third. She wipes her mouth harshly, like she's brushing something away. I think it's a very good book, she says. I'm glad you're so successful. She's trying to stay sober, but it's making her voice slur and her anger louder. He pulls his hand back and his jacket catches a pool of beer, leaving a smear which he doesn't notice. She'd only had 2 pints, but reminding herself accelerates the intoxication. Do you understand what I'm saying? He insists more loudly, and this time the bluntness of the question, entire and uncensored, hangs over a gap in the pub talk. She glances at the barman. He checks on a pint that is settling in a drip tray. She puts down her glass. It bangs harder than she meant. Foam slips down the side. It's been a long time, she says. I'm glad we met up, she says. I'll read the book differently now. She turns towards the door. I just meant... She can see the way forward, one step in front of the other. Anyone could do it. As she leaves, the men in the pub watch. She feels their eyes. They are like policemen checking that she's walking straight, or judges in a competition. She wants to hit them. The only other woman is older, with wrinkles under her eyes. She watches as the younger girl stumbles through the crowd. She doesn't put her glass down on the table. When the door closes, the company turn their attention to the man sitting vacantly with his pint in front of him. He lifts it up, as if toasting them, as if women walk out on him every day, as if they always come back, as if he's sober. He looks at the signed copy of his novel in the bag on the bench beside him. He spilt beer on it. He pulls his phone from his pocket. He flicks down to his wife's number. He looks around. The people in the pub have forgotten him. He starts to write a text. Good news, the publisher likes a follow-up. He wonders how the kids are. He tries not to make too many spelling mistakes.